Welcome back to the First Watch, everybody. My name is Andrew Coons. I'm the Dungeon Master for our adventures. Excited to be back for episode 26. And we've got some fun potential underground exploration coming your way tonight. Depends on what the party does, as always. We're going to popcorn around and introduce ourselves, and then we're going to get right into the game. So I'm going to throw it over to, well, let's throw it to Blake.
Hello, everybody. I am Blake playing Gorgas Darkbringer, the obviously not a cleric, barbarian slash fighter dwarf. So, yes, you can you can find me on the interwebs as Blake Steve Francis. But yes, Gorgas Darkbringer, the barbarian slash fighter. Excited to be here.
Who are you passing it to, Blake?
That is a good point. I'm going to pass it to Cheryl.
Oh, hi. I am Cheryl. I play Pry, the tiefling underwater basket weaver. And if the internet still exists at the time that this episode airs, you can find me somewhere on the internet as the roving naturalist. And I'll send it to Dana.
Hi, I'm Dana. I'm playing Artemis Valora, cleric fighter. And you can find me on Twitter for now at a bit meddlesome. And I'll pass it to Casey.
He's muted so that we don't have to hear him say his class wrong.
I am Casey. I am playing Uranus, the druid sorcerer. You can find me on the internet at Casey McNeil. Just the letters KC, nothing against those CASEY people. I'm going to give it to Darby.
Hello, hi, my name is Darby, otherwise known as Chaotic Darby on the internet. Anywhere that I have a social media platform, it's under that handle. We'll see if Twitter lives this long. But I am playing Peony, your lovable, ever so great. Man, you give me a nasty look. Rogue sorcerer over here. Definitely not an artificer whatsoever. And certainly not a ranger at the very least. Yeah, that's me. I guess I'll pass it to Joe. Okay.
Who is not here. And this is not the First Watch, and this is not our intro sequence. The party has taken on a little side quest. They have accepted a job from Tassar the Baker to root out the cause of his stores of pastries being eaten every night. He bakes tons of goods for the next morning and comes in the following morning and finds them chewed to pieces. He assumes by rats. However, the amount of pastries that are being eaten exceed what he would have expected for a rat problem. So he has enlisted the balancers in order to help figure out what's going on. You all decided to stake out the bakery, and upon doing so, Uranus, you used your pipe of the sewers to call forth some rats, and through that and a combination of speak with animals, you found out that there is a large, like thousands upon thousands contingents of rats who are coming into the city at night, coming up from the sewers and whatnot, breaking into the bakery and potentially other places and eating the stores. And they're led by someone known as the Monarch of Rats. And that person is very kind of upheld as the king or the god of this group. And in order to find this monarch and broker some sort of an arrangement with them, you all have decided to send an offering back with the rats down into what you have come to know is their underground kingdom of Amphia. Very flowerily presented to you all from the rats who speak much more eloquently than one's presuppositions might have indicated. So you have gotten some pastries together to give to the rats, and I believe Schrubert was turned into rat form as well to go with them. Is that correct?
Yes.
So your plant companion, now turned actual fine familiar, Ratbert, yes, is going. Yep, it's we're changing the name every time, Blake. I'm sorry, you're just gonna have to learn to roll with it. Have all taken the gifts, and they've begun the process of scurrying away from you all back down into the sewers as you all wait in the city and kind of out in the street in the middle of the night. Wondering now what the next step is. How quickly will you hear back from the rats? Where are they going? You're not exactly sure. Uranus.
Oh,
I believe I had a group of rats following me somewhere.
You did.
Hyper style.
Yes, you did. You've got some kind of at the end of your pipes, kind of just trailing behind you as you go. As you kind of all stand here and look about, Malachite.
I'm looking through his eyes too. Schubert's eyes, by the way. Yeah, so like holding on to somebody. We're just standing like this.
Okay. So Grokus's eyes have clouded over as he now sees through the eyes of the rats as they begin to go. Is there a range on that?
Yes, there is. It's not that far. So it's probably going to disappear. Let me see.
I think you can see through his eyes.
100 feet. Yeah, well, 100 feet I can see through it.
It's 100 feet for telepathy.
Oh, you're right. Yes, so I can see through it. So yes, I can see. I can't
no
really.
matter how far away he is, you can see through.
Oh,
okay,
good.
Sounds good.
Good catch. Thank you, Casey.
As you're all standing here, and the rats kind of disappear down into kind of the grates and whatnot of the city, Malachite does turn towards you all and just say, "Well, I guess while we're waiting for them to get back, I've got a couple pieces of business that I need to get taken care of. So I'll just meet back up with you all here in like." Maybe a couple hours, no later than the morning.
Is this spy stuff? Are you doing spy stuff? Are you doing super cool, like badass cool things?
It must be to have business in the middle of the night.
There are shops that are still open.
Well, Artemis does business in the middle of the night
I'm sure
with Azure,
they're
right?
lying. I'm sure they're going to some regular business. Like I'm sure Malachite wouldn't lie to us again or before. So I'm positive he's telling us the truth. I trust Malachite. I'm pointing to something completely different because I can't see. So I'm pointing to
pointing to like a building like over there.
They would never lie to us. Okay.
You feel a hand clap on your shoulder from the wrong direction, and you just hear Malachite go, "Thank you, Grokus. I appreciate that. All right, I'll be back soon. Does anybody need anything while I'm out?"
Pastries.
Well,
More we have pastries in there. Okay, I can look for another bakery.
Be safe.
Yes.
Right.
be balanced.
Okay, and he just kind of takes off into the shadows as we eloquently write Joe out of this session. Since
He definitely is going to go do more spy stuff.
Oh, 100%.
Stop. I want cool things.
Going down to
he got a special shield and stuff. Like, when do we get
Peony, have you seen your bow? Have you seen your bow though? Have you seen your bow?
You have that red gem where you just have to find more treasure.
That's true.
Grokus, as Schrubert goes deep down underground. At first, it's honestly, mostly is just a bunch of other rat asses that are in your eye. Like you're just part of the group as you're kind of going down through things. And every once in a while, Schubert kind of looks up and about, and you see kind of the stone-lined sewers of underneath the city. And as they're going, all of a sudden, the whole group of rats takes an extreme left turn and almost a sharp drop off as you see a crack and opening in the side of the sewer walls. Not an actual entrance, but a potentially a rat-made one. And the whole group just descends down this dark, steep kind of tunnel area. And all of a sudden, it breaks open, and there's not much light down here, but with the adjusted eyes of Schrubert's rat form, you see underground a vast cavernous space with all sorts of like connecting walkways and like roots from trees that have come down and grown and that are now being kind of used as different, you know, roads and highways and stuff down here. You see thousands of rats coming and going, and kind of all these different little like mounds that are kind of placed all around the place where rats are kind of going in and out of. They're almost like mounds of dirt. They almost look like little huts. But as you look down, I mean, this is the Rat City.
Wow. There's so I described to everybody. There's like a city, like an actual like a city of rats. Wow, it's actually kind of incredible. Feel bad. I always kind of judge rats a little harshly, I feel like, but I don't know. There's some sort of big crack in the wall too. So that's how they're getting in and out. There's some giant, well, not a giant crack, but at least a rat-sized crack, right? Like, so it's just like a crack.
It's big enough that several can go together. Like it's not like a single file thing. Yeah, it's a pretty big.
Okay, big. Okay,
you might be able to fit through there if you squeezed.
Oh, I am pretty. Thank you. I've been losing some weight. I appreciate that. Yeah. So it looks like, I mean, like I think Peony, or like big enough for at least Peony or I can go through at least. So I can't, like I said, it's hard to tell any landmarks. There's so many rats, so I don't know exactly where, but at least we know how. But yeah, there's a ton of them. It's a city down there.
As Schubert continues to kind of traverse around areas, all of a sudden there's almost like a 360-degree corkscrew that he takes on one of these tree roots that goes around and eventually comes down to a lower level and through an archway. So there are built structures down here as well, through an archway into a bit of a stone, like stone floor and walled room. And you see a chair set up on a pedestal, throne almost, all the way down at the end of the room. And you see a figure sitting on the chair, a large figure sitting on its butt, you know, kind of human style, but from the distance you can tell it has rat-like features, but it's large and just, you know, kind of up in a seated position. And Schubert doesn't go all the way to the front, but you see the pastries kind of get passed forward over the top of all the rats until finally they reach the front, you know, maybe 50 feet away at this point, and you just hear like squeaking coming from the front. It's echoey. You know, you of course are not able to currently decipher what the meaning is, but you see the figure that's kind of up on the chair all of a sudden kind of cough and retch, and it echoes throughout the cavern, kind of wipes its mouth, and then makes a gesture with its hand, and the whole herd of rats just like twists and turns and like begins to head back out the other direction.
So by seeing him, can I now do ascending since I kind of saw him a little bit?
You could. Yes. Yes, you could. You are familiar with the creature.
Ooh, with my familiar, oof. Oh, so I'll read that. Okay. Whoa. Oh, did we? What the? You okay?
I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Oh, so I was like, okay.
I went to mute and I turned off my camera.
I was gonna say, I think I can send them a message. The apparent that the leader of the rats, he sent them out somewhere again, so they're probably heading back out. He made some gesture and sent them off somewhere. Couldn't hear him; it was too far. But so the rats are gonna be coming back somewhere. But what should I say? Should I ask for a meeting? Apologize for maybe getting impaled by an arrow? I mean,
Maybe apologize for the arrow and ask for a meeting if you can do that in 25 words.
I think the apology should go first. Yes.
Absolutely.
okay. Apologize first. Okay. And Uranus didn't get back yet, right? Uranus is still up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say,
okay.
Uranus, you've got some rats trailing you. Are you headed somewhere specific, or are you just kind of hanging out in the area?
Oh, I'm headed to Win Mars.
Oh, that's right. So you're headed to Win Mars. Okay. Let's do the message from Grokus real
Okay.
quick, and
Oh,
then
one
we're
more
going
time.
and then we're gonna pop over. Do you want a few minutes to think?
No, Grogus
Okay.
wouldn't. He would just say something.
Okay.
Okay, 25. Okay.
All right, we'll do the message, and then we'll pop over to see what Uranus is up to.
Hello. Sorry for the arrow. My friend was misunderstood the situation. Can we please meet somewhere and discuss? Have a balanced day. Grokus. Was that 24?
Grokus gets you to 24. After a moment, you hear a voice respond to you, and it's a rasping, breathy, wheezing voice that starts with a apology accepted. I'm interested to hear from you and see if there is more to your offering. My people will be with you shortly.
Oh no.
Do need some Robitussin.
I think he
Crap, it doesn't.
It's a second level spell.
I think he sounds very unwell. Oh man. Yeah, hopefully he's gonna send someone to meet with us again. And he was happy for what you guys gave him the treats. But he doesn't sound well. I think he might need help.
While the four of you wait and plot your next course of action and kind of take in this message from the Rat Monarch, Uranus, you are making your way up to the second level. They're on the second shelf, so you're making your way up to the top shelf, playing your pipes. How many rats do you think you have in tow?
I don't think a bunch because I let some of them go. So probably like 15 to 20.
Okay, 15 to 20 rats. They're just kind of scurrying behind you, staying maybe within a foot or two of your feet, and you can just hear them on the cobblestone around. You do pass a person or two who's just kind of wandering the streets at night.
And I disguise self as like a hermit, just some kind of real ratty urchin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a bit of a hunched back and some long scraggly hair that's hanging out of a tattered robe that's pulled up and kind of hiding your face a bit. And these kind of long clawed hands that come out and play on the pipes as you go. And yes, a couple people that you do pass kind of see you and just kind of give you a wide berth and look at all the rats and kind of like pick their feet up real quick. And one of them kind of curses a little bit and just kind of like shuffles away real fast. But as you get up to the top, there are a few taverns that are still open, and you can hear people, having drinks, and there are lights that are lit along the road, providing little kind of spots of light as you go along. But before long, you do reach Windmars, and you've not been here at night before, I don't believe.
Yeah.
And after hours, Windmars, of course, is closed, and all the grandiose, little fireworks and flags waving and stuff are all kind of still. But there are some little twinkle lights that kind of just float up and around, almost like fireflies that go every which way. And you kind of watch them for a moment, and all of a sudden they kind of form into words that just says, open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. And then like kind of disappear out a bit. And then you kind of watch a little bit, and after a while, open 7 p.m. And then like the third time, it's like, great sales every day. Like there's like these rotating LED banner messages that pop up from the fireflies. But no one seems to be currently in the building.
Sweet. So I'd like to find an alley, not like directly next to it, but close-ish, where I can play my music. And I'd just like to sit down, crisscross applesauce, and kind of, what do I have? Do I have a hat? I don't think I have a hat. I'd just like to look like I'm sitting there playing for money,
Sure.
while I command these rats to try to find a way into Windmars.
Okay. You decide to sit down cross-legged and begin playing, keeping an eye on kind of your left and right as you go. And your 15 to 20 rats are kind of all stationed around you. How do you command them?
Like a high-pitched note on the... No, I play hot cross buns.
Yes. you segue from something kind of, complicated and wistful into
Yes.
And the rats immediately scurry away for fear of having to listen to this horrible tune. No, I'm kidding. The rats do your bidding. So what are you commanding them to do specifically?
Just look for a way into Windmars, pretty
Okay.
much.
And you're sending all of them to kind of like go all the way around the
Yes.
building and look everywhere?
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Any other specifics about the way that they go about looking? Like, do you want them to look for a way that they can get in? Do you want them to look for a way that you could get in? Like there's a
A
difference.
way for them to get it.
Way for them to get in. Okay.
Yes.
Sounds good. Just for the heck of it, go ahead and roll a charisma check for me, if you would.
Dope. What is my charisma? Ooh, that's a 10.
10. Okay. You send the rats out, and you don't have a telepathic connection, or be able to see through their eyes. So there's a lot of just waiting, and kind of sit and play. And someone kind of stumbles by and flips a copper piece down at your feet.
Yes.
Make note of it. Yep. And you kind of keep playing, waiting. After about maybe 4 or 5 minutes, a couple of the rats scurry back and kind of just almost like fall into line, kind of by your side.
I'm going to command them to hop once if they found a way in.
Okay. These rats do not hop.
Oh, damn it. Okay.
A couple more rats begin to find their way back. They're trickling in, coming back.
Okay.
They went from different places, and the 15 to 20 are now slowly finding their way back to you.
Yeah. Same command for whichever ones kind of trickle back in.
Yep. So the next couple, no hopping. The next 4, 5, 7, no hopping. You're starting to really lose kind of hope that this is going to work. And then on rat number 14 or so, you make that command, and it just pops up for a moment.
Okay.
A couple more rats follow in after them.
I would like to command all of the rats to follow the one rat that found its way in, and I kind of just want them to run around in Windmars and see if
Okay.
they trigger anything.
Okay. You send them after, and they off that direction. And you wait, and you wait, and then with a peering eye, all of a sudden you see some movement in one of the windows as you look and see the little shape of a rat kind of going across the windowsill and then just down again. So you know they're inside. And then after probably about 10 minutes of waiting, they start trickling back your direction.
Okay. Good to know. I stop playing and I go back to the second shelf.
Okay.
Meet back up with my friends.
The rats disperse of their own accord.
There's the same amount of rats came back. There's not like some missing because they
did. Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the rats disperse after you stop playing, and you kind of pick yourself up and begin shuffling off as the old hermit. And as you're starting to just get around the corner, all of a sudden you hear the sound of footsteps. Hurried footsteps, running, sandals against the ground.
Just keep hobbling along.
Okay. You don't look back, you keep hobbling along, and then your perceptive ears just catch the sound of a door being hurriedly opened and slammed. And then you continue down back to your friends.
Okay.
So after having had this message and some waiting, it took Uranus some time to get up there, do his stuff, and come back. So you all have had some time to chat, but for the sake of bringing the group back together, we'll say that Uranus comes back right as you all are saying.
And I was like, yeah, so seeing through rats really changed my perspective on things, just so to find balance that low to the ground, really being on all fours, you really feel grounded to the earth itself. Oh, Uranus, you're finally back.
I kind of get that from commanding the rats now. There's like a new respect for them, Like,
Uranus, dare I ask what you were up to?
Some recon. I was just checking out Windmars, checking out alarms and things like that. Doesn't seem like there are any, at least not rat triggering alarms. So, if we want to go back at some point, some night, maybe do a little after hours shopping. I mean, I know P&E was saying she wanted some cool stuff.
Do they sell after hours? Oh, there's someone working overnight. That's cool. That's the first time I've heard of.
Uranus, we have that banner from them. Isn't it a little convoluted to be lifting from there?
Do you mean steel?
I did not say that word.
Guru says it kind of quiet, like, oh my gosh. Are we talking?
I do mean steel, yes, Crocus.
100% mean steel.
Yeah.
I'm just yelling at the air because I still can't see.
Magical metals, not steel.
Oh boy.
No, P&E, they mean to loot, to take something that doesn't belong to them without paying, is what they're referring to.
What is them? Only E was considering that. There is no we in this.
Well, I didn't hear outright no's, but okay, fine.
I said it would be convoluted and it didn't make any sense. E and I negotiated a deal with Winmar. Why would you think it would be a good idea to go and bust his trust before we've even had a chance to take advantage of the the discount?
He wouldn't know that it's us,
wouldn't he?
And then maybe he hires us to find out who stole from him. And
so two wrongs makes another wrong, makes a third wrong, makes an 18th wrong. Like, no.
I've never been good at math, so.
He is a powerful caster, so how are you sure he would not know it was you?
He's an incredible wizard, Uranus.
Educated guess?
Okay.
Uranus, I could help you make some more money. I mean, if you need something, just ask him. I'm more than happy to lend a hand doing something the balanced way without having to, pilfer.
Or if you want a list of people that it would be far more honorable to steal from, but let's not do this.
I can do a list of people to steal from. That sounds
Okay.
I'm not listening to any of this. I'm off
I-
looking at something else. I'm not even listening. Just
I only have opinions on people in excess. I don't know all of the rich people here yet, but we can work on it.
It's the entire gradient spectrum of morality on display.
I'm not doing it tonight. I was just checking some stuff out so you guys can relax.
As you're having this conversation and whatnot, all of a sudden you all kind of realize that there's a couple squeaking figures by your feet. There is a rat that looks similar to the one that Peony was talking with, and then another rat that looks like any other rat, but which Grokus immediately recognizes as Schubert.
As Omar kind of jumps over his little rat feet into my arms.
Yeah. Crawls up your pant leg and up onto your shoulder.
I think that one's a messenger. Peony, if you could, can you still communicate? I mean, I guess I can kind of communicate through Shura, but I know you did before.
Question for Andrew.
Yes, Darby.
So primal awareness is what gives me speak with animals.
Okay.
And it says once per day I can cast the spells that I learn without expending a spell slot.
Yes.
And once I do so, I can't do so again. Does that mean I can still cast it if I expend a spell slot to do so, since it's on my list?
Yes,
or...
and you've already cast it twice, so you did expend one spell slot to cast it the second time.
God, it's been so long since we played.
I know. I'm sorry.
It's only been 3 years.
Only 3.
3 years.
It's been 84 years.
All right. Yes. Speak with aminals.
Okay.
Salutations, dear friends.
Greetings, it is wonderful to see you again so quickly.
Of course.
The Monarch has graciously extended an invitation for your troop to come visit us in the grand city of Amphia. An audience with him is expected this evening.
Understood. So should we follow you to...
There are some logistical difficulties, of course, being that the majority of you are not the size of your compatriot here, and kind of gestures with its little paw up to Schubert. Might you have any way, shape, or form in changing your forms, shrinking yourselves down, perhaps, or changing into another visage, so that you might more easily fall? My goodness, what a sight that is.
Take it
The
off.
rat looks very like, what the heck did I just see? Like, just blew his little mind.
One person has a way to get small, but unfortunately, I think the rest of us are... does anyone know what enlarge and reduce or...
Malachite does. But can we just pass the cone back and forth? Presuming that it doesn't require too much. Oh, well, we have rats to help, right?
Yes, well, I might suggest removing any large accessories that are not needed, kind of looking at your backpacks. And perhaps if you have any oil or other ways to slicken yourselves. Some of the tunnels are rather tight, but we shall do our very best to get you down there.
Oh, I do have some incentive for like incense kind of, but we can use this. Peony translates. Well, I'm having Schubert translate, so I'm just like already pulling it out.
Your Peony is translating all of this seamlessly.
Seamlessly, yes. Very well. Then please make your preparations and post haste follow me.
Cool.
Peony, is there room in your bag of holding for all of our stuff?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Grogus is already like oiling up.
Oh God.
Come on, we gotta. You heard the rats.
Can we wait until we like get down there first? Maybe.
Just like, I'm just in like just shirtless
He's
now.
in a loincloth in the middle of the street immediately.
Okay,
Just oiling.
Crocus or Uranus grabs Crocus and like pushes him after the rat. Like,
Your hand slips off
Oh.
at first.
But smell your hand. It smells good though, right? It's like lavender.
It's actually really soft, but
Thank you. I know it works with. It's a good good for that too.
Oh boy.
I'm ready. Just shining and like the river light, just like.
Crocus's skin isn't actually wrinkled at all because he moisturizes all
it's
the time
amazing.
with this
Yeah.
oil.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, Crocus is so supple.
I have a skincare routine. It's part of any balance. It's part of any
Crocus is
balance.
like the Korean skincare routine. It's like 37 steps.
Skincare is a part of balance just as much as like eating well and everything else. So, you know.
Your skin pH is balanced.
We have learned a new thing about Crocus tonight.
And
Too much. Too much.
that's why he wakes up so early.
Yeah.
He has a freckle on his butt.
have to look good, so you know.
Yeah.
All right, so you all kind of shove your large accessories, backpacks, and stuff into the haversack. Some of you oil up and get ready for the journey, and the rat takes down a grate, which is immediately like, okay, we're not going to fit there. You got to like remove the grate and get down, which takes a little doing. It's a little stuck at first, but with the group of you, you're able to pull it free. And one by one, like heading down to where everybody floats, you just slide kind of into this grate underneath the city and drop a few feet into sewer water in the tunnels. And one by one, splash in, and you are under the city of Floros yet again.
As
Smells
we're
lovely.
as we're traveling, can I just say to the group, so what are we what's our
we're-
offer gonna be? What kind of deal are we making?
Well, maybe we should find out if there is a reason this is happening. It sounds like it's a recent development from the way Tazar was talking. So perhaps if the Kingdom of Amphia has a problem of some kind, we can help them with that, and then they won't bother anyone. Or
That's a
Peaceful
really
cohabitation.
Fair.
yes.
Fair.
and maybe we can also heal him too. He sounded very, very sick, even through communicating to telepathically. He sounded ill. So maybe he can offer some sort of healing or something to maybe help.
I was thinking maybe we say they can go to specific bakeries and then we tell Tasser to give us like a tithe every week for them not coming back to mess up his bakery, but
That's a good idea. Or maybe we can like donate. Sometimes they throw away their excess foods. I don't know if that's
Tasser's
thing
not a
out here,
good guy.
Andrew. I don't know if that's a thing.
Tazar's not a good guy, but asking him to pay us a shakedown fee and then sicking the rats on other people who aren't bad guys is not a good solution.
That's very true.
A solution.
Well, I was gonna say maybe he has excess that I don't know. I think Price why we got to go just listen and see learn all the details first before we can actually make any kind of balanced decision. So we have to.
We'll just keep that one in our back pocket.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't have any.
Yeah.
Okay.
When we do
not right now,
You have no
brainstorming,
pockets. You're just glistening.
You're
oh,
oh.
I'm just sliding through the water real easy.
oh,
Which is totally unnecessary because there's totally room for you all to walk, but nevertheless, you're
Oh my
bobsledding
goodness.
it.
Nothing will stick to him.
As you all are walking, kind of splish splash through the water, all of a sudden you see this crack in the wall, kind of this triangle shaped crack, and the rat kind of turns and squeaks and beckons you that direction. And as you look, it's a tight tunnel that goes down. It is big enough that you think that Grocus and Peony, you could probably walk in it hunched, like really hunched. The rest of you like on your hands and knees. But it gets tight in there and you're like, man, there's none of this is like, all of this will be single file for you. And there are parts where you're going to have to squeeze and you're hoping that it's not going to be too tight.
Bet you wish you had
That's
that
just what
oil
you can see
now.
before it turns.
This is like those cave dwell or whatever. I don't know. Spelunkers.
Yep.
Spelunkers.
Cave diving, the most
Yep.
dangerous sport on earth.
Horrifying.
Yes.
Crocus, could you tell when you were looking through Schrubert's eyes how long this is?
Yeah. Oh, and Schubert's right here too on my shoulder. Barely hanging on with his claws. It's like it's really slippery, so it's like digging in. Oh yeah. Yes. It was kind of hard to tell because there's so many, and it seemed like it was. Schubert, are you okay? Okay. Yes, you're. I'm sorry, Schubert just gave me a look. I was worried. I think I'm bleeding. But it felt pretty long. So, like I said, if you put on some of this oil, you should be able to squeeze through just fine. So it's okay. It's okay.
What is wrong with him?
Is there something you want? Schubert, is everything telepathically? Is everything okay? Schubert,
You just get this like terrified, like not even words, just like, oh god.
He's scared?
Slippery. You're slippery. He can't hold on.
All of a sudden he like slips and you feel the back of
I
him.
grab him. Like, I got you, buddy. I got you. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I got you. Okay, turns away. So anyways. Okay. I can't. Take it. It's a long way, okay? It's pretty long.
You get the sense that it took the rats a few minutes to do, and they're moving quickly and impeded. So, I mean, it's not terribly long, but it is a ways, and there's that steep drop as well that it kind of like opens up. Which the good news is it will be less claustrophobic there. The bad news, a lot of the walkways that the rats were on were like rat-sized. So you all traversing it will be interesting.
There is a dip coming up, by the way. So just you like this. I mean, you'll know when you go through it. I imagine. So just a heads up.
Oh, wonderful.
For the three tall of us, it looks awfully tight. Do you think we should just take turns?
Oh yes, because otherwise you guys would definitely get stuck. CP needs so this is nice being there our height.
All right.
Walks on ahead, all short.
All short.
Walking in shortness, like it is like
walks shortly.
yeah.
Walks shortly.
All right. So, like a short king, you walk into the crack, and you do have to duck. It's pretty tight for you even, and there are parts where even you, Grokus and Peony, need to kind of crawl through and whatnot. But you all begin going one by one. I would like Uranus, Pry, and Artemis to all make dexterity checks for me, please.
Do we have to if we are taking turns with the cone?
Oh, you're using the cone.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
In that case, no. The cone would allow you to make it through one by one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey.
And
that cone, so
Schubert
clutch.
will kind of bring the cone back in his teeth and bring it to you all.
Schubert is so crazy.
He's turning back to a plan like ASAP.
Schubert has to stay as a rat from now on.
Yeah.
Please.
Oh my god.
So it takes some time, but eventually you are able to all get on the other side where there's a very small area where you can kind of convene before, yes, there's a steep sliding drop that narrows down to kind of like what you can see now and what you couldn't see before, Grokus, when you were looking through Schubert's eyes, is there is like a squared off like doorway almost that the steep kind of drop goes to.
Like a human-sized doorway, right? It's like a regular doorway?
Like a dwarf-sized doorway, yes.
Whoa, wait.
Cool.
Wait, did you say like a...
Does Peony see any architectural features that reminds her of the ruins?
Yes, there are geometric cornered carvings in that very much look like dwarven
and would I recognize any two from childhood? Oh my god!
Oh yeah, I mean this
oh my
is
god.
this is very typically typical of dwarven architecture.
Oh my god! Oh my enter. Oof. I like Petey. Are you?
I was about to put a hand on Grokus's shoulder, but then I realized he's so oily.
Are you seeing this?
I am seeing this because, yeah, I think it's. This is. Do you think it's an offshoot of the other one? Maybe there's an entrance that leads to the other mines from here.
Possible.
Yes, that makes sense. Wow. And it makes me wonder how much we had, with the city. But let's keep that. We'll definitely ask the
You're
king
right.
that.
The bones of the Dwarven kingdoms are what Alsan is built on top of. All of the city could be above Dwarven ruins. If we just walk around in the sewers enough.
We should explore here more, because maybe we'll find stuff and things. Like wires and cogs and stuff. Like that doobity-doob-da-da. I, Darby, don't remember the name of the thing, but I think Peony would remember the name of that gear.
The titanium-plated 1,000-tooth corkscrew drive.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Cheryl said.
Well done.
Plus 10 in memory.
Yeah. I, Darby, am inflicted with dumb bitchitis and cannot remember such things.
Oh,
No, stop. Self-love. Like, what the heck? Stop that right now. No. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
That was both Blake and Grokus. No.
But that thing,
as you're all talking, there's a little squeak from the bottom, and the rat is kind of beckoning you all to that doorway.
Okay.
So it like slides down.
Yeah, how far is this drop?
Uranus is gonna jump and wrap his cloak of billowing around him and just like bobsled down.
I was gonna
Lord.
You kind of slide down. It's a little bit of a rough go, a couple bumps on rocks and stuff like that, but you make it to the bottom. It's probably it's steep enough you could slide. It's probably not so steep that you couldn't kind of slowly shuffle your way down if you wanted to.
Why would you want to? Grogus is gonna just pause and still gonna dwarven stuff and then go. So probably go like second to last or last. Okay. Just kind of looking around.
All right. You slide down, loincloth flapping in the breeze.
Just like arms out.
Oh God! Oh, I shouldn't have gone before him.
Grokus is going first. I'm not going before Grokus.
Yeah, he already said he was going last or second to last.
Why is everyone looking at me that way?
Well, Petey's looking elsewhere then. She's looking at the architecture.
We are all looking elsewhere.
What is
away?
I don't get what.
Uranus mage hands the loincloth.
I thought it felt kind of draft. Okay, well.
And you all step through this doorway and immediately are greeted with a large, large cavernous opening, bigger than any of the rooms in the mine that you had been in. The size of a city, maybe. It goes on forever. And from here and from all over in the place, you see now with person perspective versus rat perspective, you see a network of bridges that are built kind of all over the place, leading to different various spots. It's overrun. There are tree roots that are coming down and mixing with things and whatnot. But those of you who have been to it, who all has been to the capital? Obviously, Pry.
I was gonna say it reminds me of the sky bridges, right?
It very much looks like the architecture from the capital of Excessa, where there are towers all throughout the city, but then these towers are all connected by thin bridges that go from tower to tower, and they kind of crisscross all over the city. And it's kind of, colloquially, referred to as the spider web above the city. There's a similarity to the architecture here from the dwarves. And some of it's broken. Some of it, a side has been broken, and there's a very narrow passageway where you see rats scurrying along. It's treacherous for sure. But nevertheless, you are here in a long-forgotten dwarven city underneath of Floros. The rat continues to make his way and leads you as best as he can through safe areas. I would like everyone to either, we'll call this more of like a skills challenge style thing. In order to follow the rat through the city, I'd like for everyone to describe what they're doing to help them individually or the group traverse this safely. And then based on that description, I'll have you roll a skill that kind of goes with it. So who wants to go first?
Well, definitely, I think we'd have
Peony.
Or, I mean, one, Peony's trained in survival, and this kind of territory is probably not too dissimilar to things.
Not at all. It's much more open than what your ruins were, but there's a lot of similarities in the construction. Yeah.
I think in a combination of previous knowledge, perhaps she's also using her bow, tying a rope to the end of an arrow and firing it into places so that perhaps there's like a handhold or something to hold on for the other people. Okay. So she's like pretty nimble, pretty small, pretty dexterous, but other people maybe not so much. So
I love that.
Giving something.
Go ahead and just make a general attack roll just for securing the arrow to good places. And then if this is successful, this will actually help everybody else's checks.
Is this the first roll of the night?
No, I think so.
No.
There's been a few.
No.
No. Uranus. Oh my god. I forgot about that whole section. Fuck, I'm tired. Okay, that's a 19 for a total of 29. So 29.
Okay. You fire off an arrow and perfectly lodge it in between some cracks in stone. Give the rope a tug and it's solid. You do this a few different times as you're going along. Anywhere there's something that's very thin, or something where you kind of test the integrity of the stone and you're not sure it's going to hold. You create some safety ropes. So that will affect anybody else who's using those. Well done. Who wants to go next?
Mine was going to be kind of similar. Pry is used to climbing around in weird spaces and also is, I believe, the strongest of the group and also pretty nimble. So I guess I was going to try to bridge gaps or help people maneuver with myself, right? Straddle a gap and help, hand people across, that kind of thing. Or find better routes for climbing around stuff.
Sure. So for you, I would like you to make an athletics check.
Okay.
Just as you kind of use your body to test things and help people along, pull people from one side to the other, etc.
Athletics. I have disadvantage on skills checks right now.
God damn it.
And that was a 1, which is a total of 7 athletics.
It's a natural 1.
It was a 1.
Okay.
Oops.
Does my rope not cancel out the disadvantage? I guess rolling a 1 doesn't help.
Doesn't help, no, because you rolled the 1 first. So, okay. So as you're going along, Pry, you're trying to kind of maintain balance and everything, and you help a few people across. And just the fatigue, it's not even the muscles that's the problem. It's the dizziness and the blurred vision that starts to come from lack of sleep that you're having right now. And you go to put your foot kind of in a foothold to brace, and you miss your toe on the right spot and it slips. And you're gonna fall, and you're gonna fall kind of off the bridge. There is another bridge that you might hit about 30 feet below you, if you're lucky. But yeah.
Could anyone try to grab them are they far away from everybody?
If anyone has a reaction that they want to use, yeah.
I would definitely try to grab.
Okay.
If I'm close enough.
So if you could make a dex save with disadvantage, Grokus, because of how oily you are right now.
Oh no!
Well, what? No one else is saying they want to grow. Okay, it's fine. Ooh, it's not gonna be good.
Oh my!
Oh no! Oh no!
Does nobody have feather fall?
Can I chuck the cone at her?
Try to land it on her midair.
Not try to land it on her, but yell at her, throw it.
You can certainly try, but first,
I go to reach out, my hand just kind of slips out. I grab the hand, but it kind of just slips through a little bit. So that slow motion, that looking make eye contact as they're still falling.
So you fall, Try, and all of a sudden the cone comes flying your direction. Abranis, go ahead and make an attack roll.
Ooh, okay. What am I adding to this?
We're going to call this an unarmed strike
Okay.
attack roll. So just use your, well, I mean, it's a thrown weapon or style thing. So I would say make a roll plus dex plus proficiency.
Roll plus dex plus proficiency. Okay. Okay. That's a 3 plus 2 is 5.
God,
Plus
I'm going to
3
die again.
is,
No.
8.
An 8, the cone goes flying off past her
No!
and goes into the darkness.
Wait, I can't try to
mage
grab
hand.
it?
Mage handing that.
I
No.
can't try to grab it?
You can make a dex save with disadvantage.
Oh,
No.
fuck.
I can't mage hand it in the.
No.
You already used your reaction to try and grab her.
Oh.
Oh,
Yeah.
dude, I'm gonna
Can
cry.
Oh my god! A dex save with disadvantage. It was another one.
You reach and
What is
you
happening?
grab nothing but air and the cone.
No.
I can't mage hand it at all.
No, because
to
you
the
already
point.
used your reaction.
You just ask the
Yeah.
rats to go find it for you. It's fine.
And it disappears in the dark. And Pry, you fall
I'm still falling.
and you hit the ground and you hit it on the edge and reach up and go ahead and make a strength save
Oh my
Okay.
to make
Wait,
sure you don't fall a
does it
second time.
say, checks. Okay, so saves are still good. Strength save. Okay. Uh, 14.
14, your hand grabs onto not a loose, but like a rock that's jutting up and holds tight. You take 15 points of bludgeoning damage, though.
Oh, I don't grab it then.
Oh, can I
I'm
move
unconscious.
up to her and grab her?
Well, you grab it and you hold yourself up, but then immediately the pain from a broken rib sends you your eyes rolling back and unconscious.
Is there any way for
So I
Peter to
keep
get
falling?
down there? and
Misty
grab?
step to her.
It's 30 feet down if you have a way to get down.
I mean, I'll drop. Oh God! Why?
The broom.
What a feather fall!
Artemis.
Where?
Artemis, can you use a
Artemis, what are you doing?
The
I'm
broom.
gonna Misty. Can I Misty step to her?
You can. Yep. Poof.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
there.
gonna Misty step to her and grab her.
Okay. Yep. You poof right down there next to her and pick up her body, which is now unconscious.
What the fuck?
Okay, and then I guess I'm gonna Misty step back up.
Okay,
Or wait,
second-
no, I can't.
Well, you can't go with. Yeah, she can't bring her with.
Can you
you.
use a broom? Can you
I
not
don't
use a
have
broom
to-
here?
Can you imagine if she did
It's all
Misty step
in
back and my
Peony's
body just
bag.
fell?
Oh, Peony has it. Peony, the
Yeah,
broom.
Peony, you can reach in and get it.
Oh, okay.
Mary Poppins style. Poof, 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 poof.
Just a teaspoon of sugar.
And spare the dying too.
Okay, so spare the dying, so you're not going to roll death save.
Yeah, because
Hooray!
so you hear a prayer from Anna saying,
Lord.
that scale's kind of bouncing back into place as he almost got off.
Huh,
He gets on the broom and is like,
you okay?
like you know when someone's in the car for the first time or learning how to drive for the first time, it's like stop go.
The broom just begins to jerk its way down.
You
the
got to
30
shift
feet.
it.
What gear do I put it in?
Broom.
Broom.
No. You get down to them, and yes, between now Artemis having the broom and whatnot, you can ferry everybody back up. So yes, with a couple trips, you get everybody back on the same level, but Pry is still unconscious.
So I'm gonna do healing word. That's fine. I'll do what spells I have left. Yeah, let me do a healing word just to get them back up. So I'm gonna do a healing word just for now to
Just to wake up.
yeah, just to wake them up because it's
Okay.
I'm also gonna do
so
friends.
7 points from Grokus as I just can't say this almost like a lullaby in Dwarvish.
And
At this point, do we notice? I mean, can we see the darkness under their eyes at all from being this close, or no?
I mean, it's not a bags that in
Oh, I
general
gotcha.
she
She has
looks
gray
very
skin.
fatigued.
What is
True.
that?
So well, you haven't put
What
on
does that look
makeup.
like?
You
Yeah.
haven't put on makeup, so sorry.
In general, she looks looking at her now. In addition to looking just beat up, she looks very, very fatigued. So 7 points back from Artemis as well. From
Yeah.
Uranus is just staring off into the darkness.
I'm gonna tell Schubert too.
darkness.
So I'm gonna tell telepathy with the Schubert, like, hey, can you go see if you can get the oh my god.
I love it.
Terrifying.
Now looking at Schubert, just like, hey, can you
he keeps
go
kind of
down
like
there?
trying to get your eye. Like,
Yeah, oh yes. Can you
Can't tell if
see
the
you-
glasses make it worse or better. Like,
I know.
Both. Oh God.
Oh no, the glasses are better.
Schubert, can you go see if you can see where that hat went, please? Can you just thank you. Gosh.
scurries
Okay.
down you and disappears into the dark.
Who knew that
so
Ratbert
sorry
would
I
be
didn't
like
catch
Sprinkle?
it, Uranus.
Okay. It's okay. Fine.
Hey, Russ,
I'm glad you're okay.
that fall was far, but was it that? I mean, how hard did you hit?
I mean, I think I broke a rib, maybe.
I'm gonna do another healing word.
Can Peony do an insight check on Pride?
Sure.
Just another 6 points of healing.
Please, Pride, lie to us about feeling okay.
Well, they said they had broken ribs, so I mean, they didn't say they were feeling
yeah.
great.
I did not say I'm fine.
Like, that fall was so bad, I cracked the rib, and that's why I passed out. Definitely no other reason.
What'd you get for your insight?
22?
I mean, it's up to you, Pry. How you want to play it?
Well, I asked you this last time. Like, she's kind of lying to herself right now.
Yeah.
So I don't know what you want to do with that.
I mean, you're not sleeping, you're tired. So I would still call it a deception check.
Okay.
Even if there is kind of an element of like, I'm emotionally fine, but physically, you're exhausted.
I mean, they could just say they're tired too. I mean, that would be fair too, I think. It's like, I'm tired.
Oh, well, there it was. A natural 20 and a natural 19. So the
Dang.
natural 19 plus 4 is a 23.
Fine.
I'm fine.
Never better.
No one
Totally
lies to
fine.
anybody. We're
She's-
all
No,
Yeah.
we don't lie to
I mean,
each
it was a
other.
hard fall. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
a
It was a
broken rib
hard
can
fall.
take you out of it. So
I mean, this is all very loose stone, and I mean, we're out here cavorting late at night, so I don't think anybody is on the top of their game, right?
No, that's,
Right.
Yes, you're right.
please
Why do I keep rolling so well to lie to my friends?
I know.
It's the only time.
that's what we do. Well, some of us.
What we do.
Some of us do.
All right, so the rat kind of comes back and expectantly keeps squeaking at you and kind of pawing at waving its paw to come your direction. You continue kind of traversing through. I will not make you roll more checks as we've had our kind of one incident here. You all now know a little bit more even what to look for as you go.
I'm
Uranus,
keeping a hand
looking
on
over your
Pride the whole
shoulder,
time to make
back
sure
towards
that
the
they're
door.
okay. So I'm squeezing Pride's hands as we go.
Eventually, there's even a part where you all have to jump a little bit, like 4 or 5 feet to get across
Whoa.
a chasm. But eventually, you make your way to that same arched doorway that you had seen through Schrubert's eyes, Grokus, and you know that beyond this is the courtroom.
So through here, I think is where Schubert saw the king of down here, the rat. Do we call him the Rat King? Is that what we're like calling him for them?
The
Do we even have a name for
Monarch?
them?
The Monarch? Is that right?
Monarch is what you had heard.
Okay, Monaco. So this is where the Monarch is. So yeah, we're I guess we'll just
Uranus walks in.
okay, well,
Uranus, as you walk in and take stock of your surroundings, it is a large, what probably at one point was a very grand throne room. You see pillars that kind of go up on either side. Some of them are broken. You see some smaller chairs that are kind of lining the sides where maybe nobles or dignitaries would have sat. Some of those are broken, some of those are still up, and rats everywhere. Kind of going about doing their business. You see some that seem to be in conversation with each other. Some are carrying things, foodstuffs or other items, kind of to and fro. But there, down at the end, you see on a pedestal, on kind of a raised area platform, you see a throne. And reclining on that throne, you see a humanoid figure. But as it turns its head to cough, and it echoes throughout the chamber, you see elongated, rodent-like features. And the rats kind of almost start to come around and form like lines along the side, kind of beckoning you down this middle. As the rest of you fall in, you see this happening as well. But Uranus, as you approach the throne, you start to get a little closer and see this figure. It is, for lack of a better term, a rat man. It is, maybe human height, maybe a little bit shorter than human height. Hard to tell here. It's got, looks to be bipedal in its anatomy, but completely covered in fur with kind of clawed hands and large rat-like feet. You see a tail kind of coming off the back, a rat face. The figure appears to be a little bit overweight, clothed in kind of a loose kind of sash and robe type thing. And the thing that really sticks out to you the most as you look at them is the sickliness. There are patches of the fur that are kind of, bare and fallen off. The muscles seem to sag. The face is contorted in pain, and the eyes kind of sunk. And even as they kind of beckon you a little bit closer with one of their clawed fingers, they kind of keep coughing and just phlegm coming up and everything. But as you get a little bit closer, they crack a small smile and kind of beckon you to be close enough within speaking distance.
Uranus walks up and gives like a slight bow. Says, "Greetings, Your Highness. We've come to speak with you about some surface matters."
Yes, my emissaries let me know that you would be coming. Quite the shot, at least one of you is, and kind of points to what you thought was a patch of fur that had disappeared, but was actually a bandage that was over the shoulder.
Yeah, sorry, I can heal you for that.
I don't require it, nor do I hold a grudge. From hearing from my lieutenants the reason you were there, it's perfectly understandable. To be honest, some of our interests may actually align here tonight.
In what way?
What do I call you, firstly?
My name is Uranus. These are my friends, and Uranus is going to let everyone else introduce themselves.
I'm Artemis.
Peony.
Right.
Rogus.
Master Dwarf, forgive us the use of your ancestral halls. It has been some time since these lands have been claimed, and over the years we have found a home here underneath.
It's okay. I mean, at least it's providing balance for somebody, so at least it's not going to complete waste.
Not at all, not at all. Though we don't do much in terms of repairs, as it is not our way. We have found a home here.
I'm gonna do a healing word, just like a first level, kind of say like a little chant in Dwarvish. Do a healing word.
You do a healing word, and as he's rubbing his shoulder, all of a sudden you go, it feels better. Thank you. Unfortunately, your magics, I don't think, can heal what's wrong deeper in here. But anyway, that I guess is where the story starts. See, I've been the king, the monarch of the Rat Kingdom for quite some time. I fell ill, maybe 10 years ago, and searched the lands for some sort of a cure for my illness. Eventually finding deeper in the dwarven mines a necklace, a medallion of sorts that when wearing it, screw all of you in the chat, you're breaking me. And when wearing it, restored my strength, my vigor, my youth, and I was able to continue ruling. But our kingdom was found out by a thief who in the night pillaged many of the treasures we had found for ourselves and hoarded away, including this amulet. So we set out looking for him and had only one clue, a dusting of what we think is flour that was left behind, brushed off from someone's pant leg or maybe their hand. Now, we've always gone up into the cities to look for provisions. It's our way, you see. We don't disturb too much or take more than we need, but there are many foods above ground that we don't have access to down here. And we always try to keep our footprint light, if you will. Well, I sent my people into as many of the bakeries, many of the places where foods are kept as possible, looking for maybe somewhere where a person who had flour on their clothing might be. Pardon me, this is more than I've spoken in some time. Well, they found nothing yet, but a complication arose. One of these bakeries, when my people were there, they tried the food, and then they felt compelled to come back next night and try the food again, and brought more of them with them. And before long, half of my kingdom is just compelled, despite my warnings, to go to this same place and eat the stores every night. I have tried to reason with them, but their urges have overtaken them. So that's how you saw me tonight. I was making my way to the surface for the first time in years to hopefully see what was going on and perhaps even be able to put a stop to my people's addiction. And meanwhile, we still search for this amulet. And every day that passes without it, I grow weaker. So there is our plight.
Uranus is going to look at Peony and be like, do you like Tasser's stuff because you like it or because you're compelled to eat it? If you can tell.
I don't know. Do you like Tasser's stuff because you like it or you're compelled to eat? I don't know.
She hadn't really had sugary baked goods before that, so it's hard to tell.
It is hard to tell.
Do you mind if we can look at the place where the things were stolen? How long ago did they steal?
Has everybody eaten the pastries? Has anybody
Yes.
not eaten the pastries?
I've eaten them.
Yes. Oh.
Like today or ever?
No. Just have you all had a Tasser's pastry?
I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
I've given mine
The first day.
every time.
No, you all ate them at our table the first day when we met.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody but Peony, roll a history check. And if you feel as your character that you've had a lot of his pastries, roll one with advantage.
Peony
I
does
think-
not get to
That gives me a straight roll.
I mean, I think Groka's ate them
The
pretty
first one was
hard.
really great.
What kind of roll is it?
A history check.
No.
8.
11.
8.
Natural
11.
one.
Ooh.
6. Straight 6.
What is
Oh,
up
I
tonight,
said
man?
high roll.
Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Damn.
it's hard. I mean, it's hard to tell. Like, they're really, really good pastries. Like, but that's, he could just be a really, really good baker. That's what you thought before. This is new information new kind of thinking that maybe he's doing something to them.
Artemis, could you just basically the picture again? Do you have any
Detect magic?
detect magic kind of thing?
Uh-huh.
You
He
could do?
pulls out a croissant.
Detect magic.
Okay. Do you say anything to the monarch?
Yes, I was gonna let him know. I was gonna know, like, we're just gonna see. We're gonna test. We have a baked good from the place. We're just gonna test it out if you don't mind, Your Honor.
Are you casting it as a spell slot or taking the 10 minutes?
I'm taking 10 minutes since we're down here.
And we can
Okay.
talk in the meantime. Artemis, you take it. I think I want to eat it.
Oh, okay.
Was that broccoli? Sorry.
It's a
Looked like-
broccoli croissant.
It looked like you had broccoli in your hand, Darby.
Those are
Oh no, it's a scrunchie.
Okay.
Oh, I was like, I'm sorry. I was like,
I don't have
Why do you
anything
just have
else.
a whole
hungry.
hand of broccoli?
You don't have desk broccoli?
You don't have any.
You're not
Come
a
on,
real
Andrew.
gamer
Wow.
if
You
you
don't
don't
play
have
D.
desk
This is a
broccoli.
D&D 1 like staple.
Yeah. Oh my god. Wow.
So Artemis, you take 10 minutes to cast detect magic. Anything you all are doing during that 10 minutes or just waiting on her?
Go ahead.
Beanie had asked where the things that were stolen were stored. Do you have remnants of the flowers that was left behind, or can we see was the storage broken into?
It was just flour. We didn't, save any of it. It's just a dusting. There were several places where things were kept. It wasn't a treasure room of sorts. Just things that were kept in various places. He kind of like motions over to a corner of the room, and your eyes go over there, and you hadn't seen it at first because there were some rats in the way, but they part, and there's like a little pile of gold and gems and like a little circlet, like just like treasure just in the corner.
Did this
Uranus.
intruder come in through the same way we came in, or
don't-
did they?
We're not sure. We're not sure. We haven't. Whoever got in here was incredibly sneaky. No one saw him. No one or her. No one smelt them. No one knew anything until things were gone, and there was just some evidence left behind.
What does the amulet look like?
Does it look like a little heart?
It's circular, silver, with an inset red gem. There's a slight glow to the gem. That's what drew our eye in the first place. It's on
And
a
we
silver
haven't
chain.
seen Tasser wear anything like that, right? We haven't noticed him wearing
Make a history
something
check.
like that. Come on, roll above a 10. Oh, okay. You're gonna roll. Jesus. 6.
6.
12.
Don't
No.
remember anything now.
Can Peony make that check?
Yeah,
or
you
is it
could. Yeah,
just-
you can make a check.
History.
19, baby. Let's go.
Peony, you don't remember seeing this amulet. You do know that Tassar wears a silver chain around his neck, but if it's connected to anything, it goes underneath the clothing.
He does have a silver chain around his neck, but don't see anything. It's not like the silver chain sitting. It's like silver chain. You can see it around the neck and it's tucked in.
Yeah, it like goes underneath the clothing. Like you've just sort of seen like, a chain around, the back of his neck.
Even if it is him, it all seems very odd that he or anyone else connected to a bakery in the city would have found this place and then sacked it and even have gotten in and out. Tazar is a little portly to be going through that crack that we squeeze through.
Maybe someone Tasser employs?
But again,
Or
how and why would they have found this place and stolen things?
maybe it's Elixio? I don't know. Trying to set up the other...
Everything's Elixio.
Everything's Elixio. It was Elixio all along. Maybe he's trying to set up Tasser?
Hmm.
He's the only one with a vested interest in Dwarven ruins that we know of.
Artemis, it's about this time that your detect magic ritual comes to an end.
Mm-hmm.
And on this croissant, you see these little sprinkles of what looks to be like sugar granules. Just a little extra sweetness to the pastry. And as all of a sudden your eyes kind of take on that misty veil of seeing the arcane, each one of those little granules pops up with a little aura of magic.
He's been
He has been drugging his pastries. I have heard of people using magic to compel others to eat things. I've heard of a dust, but it looks like he's drugging his pastries.
Defile the baked goods.
He defiled.
You
the
should burn
pastries.
his place down.
The tide doesn't sound so bad now, does it?
Not tied. We're gonna stop it though. Yes, tied, so we can still do that. No, we gotta. I'm gonna say something.
Peony mad. Sanctity of pastries.
Is that like this is one of those like broader magical world questions. Like, is that a thing that is considered unethical, immoral, against the law, against
unbalanced?
good
It
favor?
is. That's a really good question, because
Like-
this is not the first time you've ever heard of a spiked.
Right, like magically augmenting any sort of crafted item.
Let's put
Like-
it this way: there's very little in the way of like, especially countrywide, like strict law code. Like there are some basics, like don't murder people and stuff like that. But like it kind of goes town by town. Ronus is like, maybe. It kind of goes town by town. It's kind of one of those like the more upright businesses will say this is a magically augmented piece of food. If that's what you're after, here it is. So for it to be happening against your, like, you can imagine people would be not so happy to find that out. Whether or not there's a law in the books in Floros against it, you don't know.
Yeah, we've probably seen those signs on the upper level. I think we would say so. We've seen like some of those like that does say there.
Potentially. I mean, certainly at like when you were at the Halfling's Luck having food, like the menu item, like there was a magically augmented drink
Yeah.
that you could get. But again, it was laid out as like that's what this
It was
does.
notated.
Like,
It was clearly
Yeah.
denoted.
yeah,
We knew.
And if we
it would be like giving someone a drink and not telling them there was alcohol in it.
right, yeah.
Goes against all balance and reason.
And if we tested the other pastries that we brought the rats brought as an offering, we would probably find that they all have this, right? So it's not like he's like,
Peony starts pulling out other pastries.
Yeah.
because it lasts for a while, so Artemis can still see.
Yeah.
Yeah, detect magic is kind of an aura for a while, right?
Yeah.
it's like 10 minutes. Yeah.
Yeah.
More
10 minutes,
pastries
30
are put in
feet
front of
radius.
you, and as a donut is placed, you see the frosting on top glow a little
It's
bit. Again, as you look
everything.
closer, you start to see these granules. Like everything is these little sugar granules that are pinging. It's not the entire pastry, but those sugar granules are on pretty much everything.
So he like indiscriminately
Don't have your rats-
spiked everything. Yeah.
Don't have your rats eat these. Hey, please, have your rats stop there, if you can. Don't.
Well, he said he
Do what I
tried, but they just keep they're
I-
compelled to eat it.
My strength to command is not what it was without my health. I fear soon I will be challenged, and even me, and kind of motions to himself versus the rat. I mean, he's like a were rat.
I'm going
He's
to.
like
I want to
human.
grab.
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
grab the medallion out of the bag, the one that I have from Edar, and I'm going to let it. I'll do would like this back eventually, but with this help maybe in the moment to provide me the balance, it's something different. But if you want to give this a try for the.
He kind of takes
I
it,
mean-
looks at it.
I think he probably needs that specific amulet.
I appreciate the gesture, son, but this doesn't this doesn't ease the pain in my lungs.
See.
Could you, pulling out the map of Floros, which bakeries did you already examine?
I would need one of my people to show that, and you would just hear him go squeak, 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 like he like speaks in rat language a little bit.
Squeaking, squeaker, squeaker.
Yeah, basically. And a rat kind of comes up, and not the one that you had worked with before. This one is all black with like, except for like a little bit of brown over one of the eyes, and kind of jumps up and kind of begins going over and like tapping its nose against different spots. They're not like exact, like built, but they're like areas. And so you mark out 3 different areas, 2 on the second shelf. I'm sorry, 5 different areas, because 2 on the second shelf, 2 on the lower level, and 1 on the top shelf that they say they've already been to. And one of those areas is where Tasser's is.
I mean, of all bakeries, we know one person's bakery is already kind of snargly. So,
And the problem is that they might not bring it back to the workplace too. Like, who's to say they're bringing it with them everywhere too? So,
but at least
we go question Tasser.
Or
up to him, we pull his shirt down, see if that's an amulet.
Or if it's a magical item, Artemis can just do the
and she'll see, and
eyes
they'll
and
see
see.
they'll see the glow.
Yeah.
Because
What kind of magic is it? I ask the Rat King if he knows.
It's hard to. I'm not a practitioner, but it restores my vitality. I feel the weight come off my chest. I can breathe. I can move about.
Would we know what kind of school of magic that sounds like?
Yes, it would be. Hold on, let me get it correct.
School of music. I don't know.
I believe it would be considered transmutation.
Or would it be abjuration?
I mean, it could go either way. It's like Artemis.
It doesn't
roll a Arcana check for me.
Come on.
So not useful that Periaptofel doesn't list what kind of magic he uses.
I don't know why it's frozen. My gosh, do I actually have to pull out my dice?
Let it go. Let it go.
Okay, I'm gonna roll my dice then.
Which you only need 1 set of.
Okay.
wow.
On Buggy. Andrew, this whole baggie is necessary.
I think even he owns more than 1 set of dice.
That entire chest is full of them.
Right? Like
it just came up on D&D Beyond.
I love them, but you only need 1 set.
Well,
200 high level
but
spells.
need and want are very different words.
1.
That's true.
2.
2. Carry the 3, 6.
That makes great content for people to watch.
It's my favorite thing to do to players, though, is to just sit there and keep rolling and watch them all get scared. What'd you get, Artemis?
It's a 9.
A 9? You're not 100% sure. You'd need to probably see the item in order to determine that. Yeah.
Well, so I don't think it's a good idea to just go up and pull down Tazar's shirt, because for all intents and appearances, the item belongs to him, right? Like, nobody else knows that this kingdom is down here, and it would be a little, probably poorly received if we were like, hey, you stole this amulet from the Rat Monarch. So we probably have to be a little more gentle and tactful about this, because other people
knock him out and steal it from his body.
Or we could say, like, is there any kind of dwarvish markings on it? I asked the Monarch, because I can always just say, hey, I'm kind of looking for my people's things, and so that's one of the last I can.
Kind of racks his brain for a minute. You see him kind of scratch at his chin. I don't remember markings per se. I apologize.
No, you're good. No worries. You're good.
Did Tasser already verbally say what he was going to pay us, or could 200? 200? Do you think maybe we can go, you know what? Instead, we'd love a magical item if you have one.
He's not going to give it up. I doubt he'll give it up.
But
it depends on how persuasive we are.
Mm-hmm.
He did come to me asking us for our help. What if I said, oh, we talked it over, and after figuring out part of the problem, we want to exchange? It could work.
Is this where we say that we'll send the rats every night until he gives the thing up?
Could help.
It's a little bit of extortion.
Oh, maybe that it's that a necklace was stolen and it's a necklace of rats that eat your stuff. Summoning magic necklace.
Oh,
then.
that's
That's
actually a good idea.
Good idea.
Because we don't have to say like
It's
we're gonna say,
cursed.
yeah, we don't have
There
to
you go.
even that's
So then you could be super obvious about your detecting magic and be like, aha, we have put the pieces together. You are wearing a magic necklace. Yada, yada, yada.
Cursed.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah.
and yes, and we can also have some. I mean, the rats are coming anyway, so it'll be proof if he stays around at night, they can see the rats. Yeah, so I think
We
it's
should.
We also have to get rid of whatever that magic dust is.
well. I think we're going to talk about that too, because Artemis, you can bring up the fact that you see it all glowing and the no science on there. Maybe just because I mean you'll see it there. You can bring up, hey, I see some magic dust, but nothing on here that says that's weird.
Fantasy
You know,
food
just,
health inspector.
Well,
Wait,
we
are
can
there
say
food
that
inspectors? Well, there's probably not. Never
we can
mind.
say that the rats are compelled to eat that
And-
stuff. So maybe that'll sway him.
We can use that to like is it in our deductive reasoning? It's
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Another thing we might have to do is try and make sure that whoever stole from them the first time can't make their way back down here and just steal the necklace back.
Well, we can make a warning too, saying if it happens again, like it's gonna keep
Then
the cursed item, like yeah. So, and this time, I'm sure the monarch will keep it somewhere where it won't be in the same place. I imagine. Correct, Your Honor.
Oh, tired. Not of your conversation, of course, but in
Oh,
my
you're good.
body.
Oh, yes.
I must retire myself and rest. Please feel free to avail yourself of one of the empty rooms and sleep for the night before making your travels back up to the top.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on him because can I just have a moment with you, sir? Just one quick moment. Just one moment, if you don't mind, Your Honor. Just one quick second, casting Healing Word. Zog and Neil.
Ronis, you were going to say something?
Just real quick, Your Highness, just real quick. I dropped something and I kind of described the area where I dropped it. It
My
fell
rat's looking
down
for
into
it.
the darkness. If you could just like send your rats to like
Did Schubert find it?
really quick, that would be awesome. You know, it's just a little cone thing. I describe it to him just as someone else who's lost something.
Did Schubert find it?
He's not back yet.
Okay.
That's kind of how we got in.
I'd ask him.
Oh, that's
Right,
true.
okay. He kind of turns and like squeaks to a couple rats and kind of gestures at them, and then you see like 4 rats like take off.
And I have a rat at. Oh my gosh, shut up, Gerald.
I'll see what my people can do.
And I have people with the people looking as well right now, so they can probably he'll probably help them out as well.
Right.
So when they meet him.
I appreciate you doing me a service. If I can do you a service in return, it is good.
And I just put a hand to kind of shake it. I just want to say if for whatever reason the dwarves are able to return, I just want to say that you'll still be welcomed here as well. I mean, of course, like this is kind of our home, but you'll always be welcome here because you guys have made this your home as well. So as I'm not per se the king, but I'm the only dwarf that I know, and so I'll give you my word, my blood, that you guys will still be.
That is a lofty promise, and one that, having been along as ruler as long as I have, I know may not come to fruition, but know that I appreciate where your heart is.
Well, if I'm still standing on these balanced legs, I'll make sure that it will come to fruition. So you have my word and Manor's blessing on that.
You're a dwarf of honor. I respect that. Rats might be the most honorable creatures in the kingdom, if one were only take the time to know them.
Sure, yes.
I must retire. And kind of like slowly gets up and is like having a hard time. And
I'll
you see
help
like,
him up. I'm gonna help him up.
well, as you're doing that, you see like
Yeah.
30 rats like come and like almost like create these like arms that like help push him up and
No.
steady him.
No.
Yes,
So
thank you.
majestic.
Good night.
Majestic, much
You kind
wow.
of
Have a
shovels
balanced
off
side,
out
rest,
to a
rest
side
well.
room.
Right. Well, this has been illuminating.
Mm-hmm.
Schubert, any luck on the hats? I'm gonna tell telepathy, just kind of reaching out to Schubert, seeing if it's. Oh my gosh! I
He's
see
not
in my
here.
mind.
You don't have to do
in
the
my
face.
mind, just like.
You just see the
Your
face
mind's eye, you see
floating
the-
in front
the
of you.
face.
You just kind of get back this sense of like still looking, just kind of like searching, sniffing, kind of every which way.
For honesty, they're still looking, but they're making progress. So don't worry that. But then there's blessings. They'll find it. It's okay.
Mhm.
It's okay, Uranus. We'll get your toy back.
Uranus is gonna find somewhere to sleep.
I'm gonna sit on the throne for a second. Like whenever it's kind of down, I'm just gonna sit on the throne for a second.
You sit down on the throne, and immediately 300 rats just turn their heads in your direction.
Get
The
off
whole
the
room
throne.
goes
Get off
silent.
the throne. Get off the throne.
I'm gonna get off. Like I look at them, I kind of just like bow, just say, I'm gonna get off. I'm gonna get off. So I get off slowly. I know I get off. What? It's fine. It's my people's anyway. It's okay. I'm just sitting down.
They don't care.
I know. It's fine.
They like all go back to what they were doing.
I don't know if it's fine.
All right. You all find quarters in places. And the rats leave you alone. Like there's not like they're coming in and out of your rooms or anything like that.
Can I give Prize some kind of bardic inspiration for sleeping?
What?
I don't know if it's like a check you're doing for when you're
You
trying
have
to
Song
sleep
of
and you-
Rest, technically, but it is only for short rests.
Yeah.
I would say, yeah. I mean, if you wanted to play, this will be up to Pry as well, but if you wanted to play something relaxing to
A
help
nice
aid
lullaby.
sleep, yeah. I love it. Anything else anyone's doing before sleeping? Yes, Kenny.
I think Petey's gonna take the opportunity to explore as much as possible before kipping down somewhere.
Okay.
Like it's big, it's open, it feels like home, except there's like 6,000 more rats than usual. Not disturbing anyone, but I think she wants to particularly look for any possible entrances or exits that might exist.
Yeah. Go ahead and make a survival check and then an investigation check.
Survival, that's scary.
Survival is for the general kind of like looking around the area, getting around the area, that sort of thing.
Okay. Well, this dice is fucking cracked, let me tell you. 18 plus 6 for survival.
Okay.
And then maybe not so correct. 16. No. Investigation is lower than that. 11 for investigation.
11. Okay. You're able to traverse the area with really very little difficulty. You're nimble. You've had a lot of experience doing this type of cave diving or ruin delving and whatnot. And you find these interesting points where sometimes even in a spot where there's tons of rats, as your foot comes down, they part and kind of leave you a foot place as you go through and kind of stay out of your way. And it is, you spend an hour or so kind of looking about before you start to really feel sleepy. And it's a pretty remarkable experience. These caverns are massive, and you have your goggles, so you're able to see okay. There is no real light down here, but you do see all these braziers that are kind of set up, these very large ones that are set up in various areas. And you would imagine that in its heyday, this was lit by firelight all the way through. And at one point, you actually see a mirror that is set up, a large mirror on a hinge. You kind of look and everything, and you realize you see another spot where there's like a place where there is a hinge, but there's no mirror in it. And you start to go, there was probably some sort of reflection system built in here to help spread the light throughout the caverns. It's quite amazing. You don't find another entrance or exit to the area quite yet. However, in the short time you were able to explore, there's a lot more to see. But you are getting pretty sleepy.
Good. Peony will trek her way back towards, if everyone's sleeping in the same room, she'll curl up in a corner.
Okay. Well,
Crocus is going to just like pray pretty hard, and just like he's gonna just like angrily just like kind of deep breathing hard, then eventually start crying, and then pray some more, then eventually pass out.
Here in the bowels of the Rat Kingdom, you all get your rest, and those of you who sleep will gain a level tonight.
Yeah.
Hell yes.
Pry.
Probably not Warlock, right? Probably not.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
We all take different levels and things.
Pry, are you attempting to stay awake tonight?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'd like you to roll a con save with disadvantage, as the fatigue of everything is taking over, and Aranis' song is quite tempting.
Con save with disadvantage is a 10.
Okay. You find yourself nodding and drifting, and unless there's a drastic measure that you take in order to stay awake, you will fall asleep tonight.
Yeah, I think she'll constantly change position or like stand up. Like if we're in like a little room, so she'll like go like stand at the doorway to keep watch. Like, yeah.
So you're fighting it very hard?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, even despite the sleepiness that's taking hold of you, you stay awake and you take a second level of exhaustion tonight.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
And no one notices, right? We don't know, because then it states watch or anything, so no one notices.
She's rolled in such a way that there is not a sense of suspicion. And yes, it's not uncommon for there to be watches or whatnot. So I would say,
Even though we never said any.
yeah.
Damn.
I would say no. No one really clocks this. So the morning comes, you think. There's no light down here. There's no indication of time, but you all one by one start to wake up and feel rested. And let's go around real quick for those of you who did sleep and talk about your levels. Let's start with Peony. What did you take a level in?
I forgot to do that. But it's going to be Ranger.
Going to take a level in Ranger. Okay. Which makes lots of sense considering this new exploration area and kind of some new things you found out and kind of diving deeper into terrain that you're familiar with.
Ooh, new favorite enemy.
Her first level of Ranger. Yes, thank you, Cheryl. Yeah.
Yeah,
Only
my
ever been
first.
an Artificer up till now.
I've actually only ever been a rogue sorcerer
Oh my
up until
God.
this moment.
Shut up. No. Stop confusing everybody. Artemis, what are you taking?
Oh, I just stayed, I like leveled up as a wizard and I
Perfect.
took the alert feat.
Okay. Wow. Everybody has the alert feat. No one
Never
will ever
gonna
surprise
get the
this
drop
party.
on us.
Yeah, so for you, just the continued delving into different magical artifacts, even the discovery of this magical intoxication on the things, and you kind of spent the night studying through your books and trying to find out more information about this periap of health, and about that, and through all that, you just kind of continue to open your mind up to the arcane knowledges, and gain a level in wizard. Grokus, what are you taking?
Cleric.
Cleric.
Taking another,
Okay.
so yeah, just in push that deep prayer. So
Yep.
and it kind of calmed me down somewhat.
This discovery of a new part of your people's city, it revitalizes some hope in you. It's beautiful to see, and you spend what time awake you have just imagining what it was like for dwarves to walk these halls, and whereas some might find some despair in that and the loss of a people, you lean on Enor and you lean on your faith that there might be a way to restore this again. And through that, through your fervent prayer, you gain a level in cleric. And Uranus, what do you take?
I would love it to be warlock, but if I'm not on good terms with my patron, I can do bard.
How do you reach out to Fred to ask for additional abilities?
How do I reach out to Fred? That's a tough one. I think Uranus kind of just, while he's going to bed, he's kind of just sitting there, kind of stewing over losing the cone. And I don't know. He's just like, Fred, I know we're not on the best terms right now. But I think a lot of that is, whether or not Fred is listening right now, but I think a lot of that is because you're obviously lying. And if you would just be upfront with me, just a little bit forthright, I could help you out a lot more than I'm currently able to, because all it is, it just sounds like you are a terrible, terrible creature. And I don't know how any of this is convincing or not. I'll just take a level of bard.
So you say this, and you're just kind of feeling frustrated and like, am I praying? Like, what am I doing here? And all of a sudden there's a little scurry of movement, and your eye kind of moves over, and you see a rat that's made its way into the room. It's an albino rat, but instead of the kind of pinkish eyes, they're jet black. And there's a little tuft of hair at the top that kind of sticks up in odd directions on the rat. And it kind of just comes over to your direction and then just sits up on its haunches, cocks a head at you.
You want to help me find my cone?
Oh, not really. Doesn't sound very fun.
That's fair.
We had a deal.
That is very, very true, but you've lied from start to finish. So
You say I'm a horrible, horrible person, but I wonder how many of your party members would say the same thing about you. Isn't it all just relative?
Well, I don't know if they'd say I'm a horrible person. Maybe dubious, but horrible, I don't know. I do some good things. Do you do some good things?
I do. I gave you powers.
That's true. That's true.
I want you to fulfill your end of the bargain, Uranus.
Can you just tell me who you are?
I told you, I'm pro.
I know that's not the truth. If you're pro, how did you get mixed up in this if you were one of the gods trying to seal the evil ones away? Because I would love for you to be pro, but
it was a proverbial twisting of arms that led me to lend my talents to closing that doorway.
So you didn't want to help close it? Because what I've read said that pro wanted to
Wow, you believe everything you read. Interesting.
That's all I have when you're not telling me the truth.
Tell you what. I believe in second, third, and fourth chances. You sacrifice something for me that shows me you're serious. And maybe I'll grant you a little more power. But the next thing you do is go to that tower. That's not off the table. But if you want a little extra juice now, show me you're committed.
What are you asking?
I want you to get creative. You're a bard. Creativity runs in your veins.
You're not asking me to kill somebody, are you? Like, what kind of level?
If a rat could shrug, he shrugs.
Sacrifice something. What do I have to sacrifice? I don't have anything. No. I'm not going to give him Bethany. No. Damn. Is there anything outside of the tower that you want? I mean,
I want to see what you can come up with. This is about you.
okay. Aranis is going to have to stew on that for a little bit.
So are you holding off on taking a level?
I'll hold off.
Okay. You stay at your place, and Fred blinks, and the eyes are pink albino again, and then the rat scurries off. And there, with everybody waking up a little stronger, or perhaps with more questions for themselves, here underneath Verlos in Amphia, the Kingdom of Rats, is where we're going to end tonight's session and pick up next time with what the Balancers do next.
See you guys in 3 more years.
Oh man, seriously.
What an ending. Jesus.
Choices. Something to stew on. Well, thanks everybody for joining us. This was a fun jaunt into a new part of our world with new challenges and new allies, perhaps. But we will look forward to getting back together here soon. Right at the time of recording, we're in the Christmas time holiday season, so we'll get back together as soon as we possibly can. And in the meantime, thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you next time in Floros. Bye.